Welcome to the Jeff
and the Bonch
Show.
We're entering week 3 now.
Entering week 3.
Everyone's got a couple weeks to get a feel for the season.
Yeah, we're starting to get a little bit of a feel for what's
after
going
week
on
1,
here.
you kind of like, you don't want to overreact a little bit. Now after a second week, you feel like you know a little more information.
If you're a Redskins fan, overreact! Red alert! Right?
Yeah. I hope you enjoyed the division title last year.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed 2-14 this year, guys.
Maybe not that bad, but we'll see.
Okay, so what do you want to start with? You want to start with...
Perfect. We usually start with perfect picks.
Okay, perfect picks.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I have to say it.
Yeah.
It's time for perfect picks.
Our picks are pretty good.
I believe you'll be interested in this one since it's your Super Bowl preview.
Oh, wow, a Super Bowl preview in week 3.
Bengals and the Packers.
Yep.
I believe it's in Cincinnati. Is that correct?
It's in Cincinnati.
You have a Packers team that I think everyone knows what they are. Pretty much unstoppable offense, and the defense is...
better than it was.
Oh, that's not saying much. But yes, it's not the worst defense in the league.
Nope.
And then you have a Cincinnati Bengals team who I think had a really tough game week 1, went to Chicago. Probably should have won that game. They let it slip away. Last night on Monday Night Football, they, I think, took care of business, beat a team they're better than at home. And now they got a home team against a tough Green Bay Packers team.
See, this is the week where we're going to find out if the Bengals are for real.
I agree with that.
Because what it was is we sort of thought, oh, week 1 against the Bears, if they could beat the Bears, they're for real. And they lost to the Bears, but it wasn't like, oh, the Bears
they were up
them.
like 21-10.
Yeah, that was a weird game. It was
they were
really
in control,
weird game.
and there was that fumble by Southland High School on Mo Sanu.
Boo! Mo! How could you? No,
yeah, come on, Mo! How dare you? But yeah, there was a momentum shifting turnover in that game.
Yeah.
And the Bears were at home. The crowd got into it, and
it's one of those things where you give the Bengals a pass for that game almost, or at least I do. And then this past Monday night, they should have crushed the Steelers. The Steelers, you said this earlier in the year, they're not going to be any good this year.
Yes,
they don't.
That one.
You did call that one because they look bad.
Yeah, they're
Steelers are going to be bad. If the Bengals had lost, that would have been a disaster. But they were never going to lose this game. There was really no. The score was closer than the game was. There's no threat of them losing.
So yeah, again, I expect high scoring here.
I think we've got a good game on our hands.
Yeah, it should be good.
The Packers are going to be challenged because the Bengals defense is good.
It's very good. I think it's better than good. I think it's not top 5, but it's a top 10 defense in the NFL.
Yeah, so I think it might be top 5. You don't think?
It might. It's borderline. I'm going to say like 7 if I had to pick a number off the top of my head.
Okay,
but that's being a little exact.
Sure.
Okay, but bottom line for me, I think the difference in this game is the running backs. You have the Green Bay just lost Eddie Lacy. I assume he's going to be out at least a couple weeks. Concussion, even if he's playing, he's not going to be 100%.
No.
And the Bengals, last night on Monday Night Football, a lot of fantasy owners were aware of this in August, but they've got a nice young running back, Giovanni Bernard, of North Carolina. And I think that the Bengals will be able to move the ball both on the ground and through the air, maybe a little more balance on offense that the Packers have. And their defense, being the better defense, will make a play to stop Aaron Rodgers. So I'm going to take the Bengals in what will be a statement win for them.
It would be a statement win.
A statement win, the Bengals beat Green Bay, move to 2-1.
Thus the Bengals jersey.
Well, not really. That was just a coincidence.
And T.J. Houshmandzadeh returns.
Yes, T.J. Houshmandzadeh returns for the game-winning touchdown. So who are you picking?
I'm taking the Bengals also, but this is one of those games to me where it's close enough. I probably would have just taken the home team in this game.
Fair enough.
If this was at Lambeau, I would have taken the Packers.
It's one of those things where like the Packers are gonna be 1-2. Everyone's gonna be like, "What's wrong with the Packers?" But they lost to two pretty good
and they'll
teams.
they'll be fine, and then they'll be 10-6 and make the playoffs.
That's the thing with the Packers. As soon as the Packers play anyone who doesn't have a good defense, it's up 400 yards for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
you're just automatic.
Time for lock it. Time for lock it up.
Lock it up. Now, usually we have a couple picks that are we make 2 or 3.
I have 3 that are locked.
Yes, you all right, say 2 of them besides the main one because I want to talk about that.
Okay.
Say your number 2 and 3.
Well, number 2 would be Broncos over the Raiders.
I agree with that. Monday Night Football.
On a Monday night game in Denver.
Broncos are just going to cruise to 13-3.
And then number 3 would be Patriots home over the Bucks.
Probably.
See, I don't even say probably because the Patriots look bad. I don't think Tom Brady's going to do well. But the Bucks.
Yeah, about that. Let's talk about them.
The Bucks, who we both picked to make the playoffs, are just me.
We both picked them as wild card teams.
Yeah, they look awful.
Usually through 2 weeks, I'm not going to panic about a team.
They should.
You might be time to press the panic button.
Yeah, because Josh Freeman isn't going to team photos or something. Who even knows what it is? They're so bad enough that now they're getting the nonsense stories.
Here's the thing that I find amazing. Somehow Darrelle Revis ended up with the one team that's now a bigger circus than the New York Jets.
I know.
The poor guy, who's, of course he's been great through 2 weeks.
Well, now he's complaining he doesn't like how they're playing defense.
Well,
you've heard all this, right?
They're
not playing man. He doesn't like that. It's a disaster.
It's weird because one of the reasons I like the Bucs is because of Greg Schiano, and it seems like he's a major problem with that team. The players don't seem to be big fans of him. He's in very bad terms as a quarterback. You never want that.
But what it is you can't be a big jerk unless you're winning.
Yes, that's a good point.
If you're a big mean jerk and you still stink or you're still
good.
losing, no one's gonna like you. They're gonna say, "Boy, this guy's a meanie, and we still stink."
Yeah.
Why can't we have a nice person and stink? That's what they're going to say, right?
I mean, I heard a story that he rigged the team captain vote so Josh Freeman wouldn't be elected.
Did he really?
That's the story out there.
I didn't hear that. Oh,
Josh Freeman, you might have heard, Josh Freeman was not elected one of the team captains. Yeah. Usually if you're a quarterback of the 5th year...
You're a lock.
You're a lock for offensive captain. Josh Freeman does get voted captain. I found it a little bit of a red flag. Like, that's a little weird when I read the story.
Yeah.
And now I heard, there's rumors, I don't know if anything's official... There's rumors Schiano rigged the voting because he doesn't like Josh Freeman, that Freeman would not be voted captain. It's just, the fact that story even exists.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's weird.
Like I said, they're bad enough that they're getting the ridiculous stories.
There's a weird vibe around them right now, and it's just not good.
Yeah, so that's why they're going to lose.
But
they're going to lose in New England.
Yeah, but, both of those games, if not for a dumb penalty in Week 1 against the Jets, and not for I think there was a missed field goal at the end there by Lindell. There was 2 winnable games there with the Jets and the Saints. 2 close losses. They lost on a field goal as time expired all the time. Easily could have won both those games. So I want to say that the team stinks, but there's a bad vibe around them, and the Patriots haven't looked good yet. That's the reason I would say it's a lock, because the Patriots haven't been on their A game yet. There's possibly Gronkowski's back this week.
I just don't see the Patriots. I see no way the Patriots lose to that team right now.
Right now, the Bucs are just. It's bad.
Okay, so you want to talk about the obvious. How about the lock of the year?
Yes,
Everybody?
I'm not going to say lock of the week. This is lock it up. Get the biggest lock you can find and put a lock on there.
Sure.
Because there is no...
We used to have... Wait.
I can't even... Do we have a lock with us?
Yeah, it's still in the package,
we do.
So you could potentially return it, but... There's a lock.
The lock of the year. Maybe the century.
Maybe. Wow.
In my opinion, the best team in football... The Seattle Seahawks.
Right now, I agree.
At home, in the toughest place to play, the place that Colin Kaepernick, when he's unstoppable anywhere else, he goes to Seattle, looks like Alex Smith.
Yeah.
And here come the Jacksonville...
He looks worse than Alex Smith, buddy.
He looks bad in Seattle. Well, that could be an issue we'll talk about in a few months when he goes back there, possibly. But anyway... Who's coming to town this week in Seattle?
Honestly, the hands down worst.
The hands down. Apologies to the Jets and the Raiders. Anyone else who was possibly considered to be the worst team in football. The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hands down the worst team.
Even healthy, they aren't a good team.
And Maurice Jones-Drew is hurt.
Maurice Jones-Drew is hurt.
Justin Blackman's
suspended still. Their quarterback situation is... I don't know how to word for it.
Bad and worse, and then they've got worse going instead of bad, because bad is hurt.
Yes, Blaine Gabbert is probably the worst starting quarterback in the league when healthy, and his backup is Chad Henne. Bottom line is, the Raiders are not a good team. The Jaguars had no chance.
Yeah, they had no chance against the Raiders.
That was never a game.
This game is going to be...
I mean, if you have the Seattle defense in fantasy, you're basically... You're a lock for getting a defensive touchdown and probably 3 or 4 turnovers.
This is going to be like 52-6 or something like that.
The Jaguars scored 1 touchdown in 2 weeks. They scored 2 points and 9 against the Chiefs and Raiders. Again, not powerhouse teams.
No, not powerhouse teams.
This is a powerhouse team.
It's going to be bad.
It is a bad environment as it is. If you're a good team, you can't win in Seattle. I can't even see an argument for less than 17 points difference. Maybe even the Seahawks offense doesn't show up.
Oh, by the way, the spread is they're favored by 20.
20.
They're favored by 20.
Favored by 20. Meaning if you bet on the Seahawks, you're predicting they win by at least 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I would take that bet.
Exactly. That's the thing, like, even hearing 20 points, I'm like, yeah, I'm probably still going with the Seahawks.
They had to do that to get even anybody to consider betting
I would
on
never
the
say this. I think negative total yards is a possibility.
Yeah.
It's possible the Jaguars actually, have 0 passing yards and they get stuff for negative run yardage and maybe a couple sacks, where they would have negative total yards. It's time for
Upset Special Time!
This is usually where Jeff makes a pick that's just ridiculous.
Usually it is!
And we just laugh at that the next week. Hey, remember when you picked them? So, who is it this week? I'll let you start. This is your segment, really.
Alright, this week, got a big upset in the making, my friend. You're gonna love it. When the Colts...
Of course! I was counting on this!
When the Colts, coming off a bad loss to the Miami Dolphins, go to San Fran and beat the 49ers.
Okay, this is called... I'll tell you what this is. This is Jeff... This is Jeff, who had the Niners starting 0-2 as part of his Niners won't make the playoffs, just about it. They beat the Packers. Oh, I gotta make up that game somewhere. Oh, they're playing the Colts this week? Okay, the Colts will go into San Fran and win.
You know what the 49ers looked like against the Seahawks?
The Jaguars?
They looked like the Jaguars. I couldn't even think of something bad enough.
I mean, their defense was still good most of the game, but their offense was
bad. Oh yeah, they stopped Marshawn Lynch really well. Their defense was great.
Well, okay, the game was 5-0 at halftime.
Doesn't matter. They were manhandled. They weren't even in the same class as the Seahawks. And what it was is everybody even thought, oh, the Seahawks are good, but it would be a game. Everybody thought, I thought it would be a game. Nobody thought...
It was a game for 2.5 quarters.
And then the better team crushed them.
Yeah, the better team. Absolutely the better team.
And the 49ers, I mean, my friend, they don't look great.
They look great week 1. They don't look great against the best team in football. You're so biased against the 49ers. It's ridiculous.
Wait, so you are. If they're a top 2 team in football, which you said.
Yes.
Shouldn't the second best team be competitive with the best team?
They were it was 5-0 at halftime. Their offense was terrible.
Yeah, how about that Colin Kaepernick you raved about? One good week, one bad week.
Oh, stop it. And now we'll have another great week because he's playing a bad defense in Indianapolis.
Not playing a great defense.
Playing a bad defense against Indianapolis. Again, I can't judge the Niners based off going to Seattle. That's not fair.
Can you judge them based off of Indy going to San Fran?
I could judge them. I'm saying the Niners, as long as they're not going to Seattle, are just as good as any team in the NFL. Just as good.
I don't think so.
Besides maybe Denver.
Denver's better than them right now.
Denver's better than them right now, yes. But the Niners can't be judged based off the Seattle game. That's not fair.
They can be judged based off of the fact that they got crushed. Not based off the fact that they lost. If they had lost 17-10, even 17-7.
Their offense was not good.
Even if it was that, even if they looked okay, they looked awful. That's why you can judge
but
that.
The only time Colin Kaepernick's looked awful in a year, I'd say it's pretty much been a year total of games now, between middle of last season to now, is when he goes to Seattle. The rest of the time, nobody can stop him. And I certainly don't think the Colts are going to be able to stop him.
The Colts are going to beat the 49ers. You're going to be very upset.
I'm not going to be upset because Niners won by 2 touchdowns.
Devastated, even.
Niners won by 2 touchdowns.
All right, well, what's your upset special?
Well, can't believe I'm picking this. Sunday Night Football, the Chicago Bears are going to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Chicago Bears, have had 2 good weeks. Comeback win against Minnesota. They beat a good Bengals team week 1. It's around that time where everybody starts getting excited about the Bears. What happens every time everybody gets excited about the Bears? They fall on their face.
And you call me crazy. Because the Steelers have looked awful.
They've looked bad.
They look awful.
I think they're a bad team.
They look like a bottom 5 team in the NFL right now.
Yes.
They do.
I don't think their defense is that bad.
If the Steelers played the Raiders, it'd be a game.
Again, I don't like picking this.
Well, then you shouldn't. Don't do it.
I really don't want to. I'm just saying...
We have to pick an upset. So
I have to pick an upset. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if the Steelers upset the Bears. Because the letdown game of the Bears is going to come sooner or later. I never trust the Bears. If I had to pick something else...
Cricket.
I don't like Detroit this week.
I like Detroit.
Of course you like Detroit.
Do you know what?
You like the playoffs.
Do you know why else I like Detroit? Because the Redskins are awful. Speaking of teams that are awful, how about those Redskins? They stink.
Their defense is awful.
Their defense is awful. They score points in garbage time.
I'm just saying, there's still a division winner in there somewhere. if I'm not gonna pick the Steelers, I would pick the Redskins.
Well, that's a foolish pick. Wow, you're full of foolish picks today, aren't you?
I'm not ready to write out the Redskins yet. I'm not.
Am.
And I expect that to be a shootout.
You know who's awful? The Redskins. You know who's awful? The Giants are awful.
They're not awful.
Awful. I was at that game. They were awful.
They're not awful.
They're hard to watch. That's what they are. Eli interception Manning.
Okay, let's talk about Eli's picks for a minute.
Okay.
One that goes off a defender's foot and flies in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Two of them were Hail Marys while down, the end of choice.
All right. I was sitting right by that end zone.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. Those were the worst decisions of even... No,
what is he
I don't care
supposed
what
to...
you're down by. There was literally, both times, there were 3 Broncos and then 1 Giants player. And the Giants player wasn't even at all open. It would be like, it's the worst decision. So you can't say, oh, Hail Marys. It's not like, oh, everybody's in the end zone and they're sort of going to jump
I'm saying
up.
they were their throws he wouldn't make if it wasn't for the situation.
The Giants have looked awful. More turnovers than any NFL team. They have, I think, like 2 sacks on the year.
The fumbles are an issue.
They look awful. They don't have a running back.
Yeah, that's a problem. They got to figure out the running game.
They don't have any running back. Brandon Jacobs. Like, Giants fans at that game. I was at that
really
game.
excited about Brandon Jacobs.
They loved it. They were like, go Brandon Jacobs!
He's a 2-yard runner.
What are they
He's a
cheering
2-yard runner.
about? What are they cheering about? The guy stinks.
He's
the guy you put it on.
They have fond memories of Brandon Jacobs.
Yeah, you put him in on 3rd and 2 and he gets 1 yard. That's Brandon Jacobs.
Yeah, exactly.
We have like 4 rushes for 3 yards and a touchdown.
I mean, definitely worried about the Giants. Definitely worried about the Giants. I'm not too concerned. Not totally concerned. I'm a little concerned. I'm mostly concerned about the Giants is their defense is based off their pass rush, and they have not had a pass rush yet. If they don't get a pass rush, their defense can't operate.
Pass rush.
O.C. Umenyiora is gone. Jason Pierre-Paul's been banged up. If they don't get a pass rush, the Giants' defense can't operate. Their linebackers are not good. Their secondary is shaky. Basically, Week 3 to me is about these 0-2 teams, especially the Redskins, the Giants, the Panthers.
Must wins.
Yeah, and the Steelers.
What it is, yeah, if you're just not a great team, you better win this one because you're not coming back from 0-3.
It's really difficult.
Thank you for watching the Jeff
and the Bonch
show.
We'll be back next week.
Yeah, we'll be back next
week. More shenanigans.
Yeah, and we will have a better idea of what the NFL landscape looks like.
We're going to have a little more information to go off of.
The more information?
Better show you get, quite frankly.
Yeah. Goodbye, America!
Shalom.